Kate's turning 39, and as she approaches that birthday, she is very much carving her own path as she prepares to be the next Princess of Wales. I think when the time comes, Kate will use that title, and so comparisons are automatically going to be made with Princess Diana. And of course, they're very big shoes to fill. And I think that's why Kate, if you like, has tried to beef up over recent years her own individual commitment to the crown. When Kate first married into the royal family, she was very much considered as a +1 rather than a fully fledged working royal in her own right. It's hard to think back now, but when she first entered the royal scene and she was being besieged by the paparazzi, she tried to hold down a job, but she couldn't in the end because it all proved too difficult. So when she married in, it was very much as if she was having to mould herself to a whole new royal life, give up everything that she had had before, and try and carve out a path for herself outside of William's orbit. And that initially proved quite difficult because I think she wanted to try and find something that she could get her teeth into, but equally she was quite a reluctant public speaker. There had to be quite a lot of work done behind palace gates to kind of encourage her to grow in confidence when it came not only to taking on her own patronages and engagements, but also to speak at them.
It is our duty, as parents and as teachers, to give all children the space to build their emotional strength and provide a strong foundation for their future.
After she became a mother, she decided that she needed to ground herself in a body of work which she could call her own and establish a sense of having a legacy. I think looking to the example of Prince Charles, or indeed the late Princess of Wales, Princess Diana, there's this sense that you have to have something that you can really delve into deeply and try and make lasting change. And for Kate, that has been early years and the foundation years.
I believe the early years should be on par with the other great social challenges and opportunities of our time.
She didn't just get into early years because she was a mother herself, although obviously that does spark an extra interest. And it was this sense of trying to work out what impact childhood has on adulthood and trying to do something lasting, which is why she collaborated with all of the scientists and others in order to create that big conversation and indeed the questionnaire about childhood and its effect on adulthood. She is very well briefed, but she's also effectively, over the course of the last decade, become an expert herself in that field.
I was amazed as a first-time parent that 90% of our adult brain develops by the age of 5. So there's such a huge opportunity as parents and carers and all those looking after children in those early years.
I think you have to look at Kate and say, well, she is definitively going to be the next Princess of Wales, kind of on record. Yes, the Duchess of Cornwall is technically the Princess of Wales, but has never used that title for obvious reasons. I think when the time comes, Kate will use that title. And so comparisons are automatically going to be made with Princess Diana. And of course, they're very big shoes to fill. And I think that's why Kate, if you like, has tried to beef up over recent years her own individual commitment to the crown. And that means not being in a husband's shadow, but doing her own thing. The closest comparison might be a sort of first lady to presidential role, in that Kate wants her own office, her own advisors, and her own pathway to follow, in addition to that of being in unison with Prince William. For Kate, she has looked at the Princess Diana model and thought to herself that she needs a legacy project that she can work on consistently for the next few years, as Diana did with, for instance, landmines. What both of the Cambridges are trying to avoid is sort of plaque unveiling and tree planting. And I think for Kate, this idea of having to be the next Princess of Wales, that's quite a lot for Kate to live up to, but ultimately that is the role that she's going to inhabit. We're going to see her emerge even more, I think, from Prince William's shadow in order to forge her own path. But equally, I think she's going to be building on the work that she's done in recent years to make sure that she does have a solo career, and she can only build on that in order to try and establish herself effectively as the next Princess of Wales.